MJ and PK, we just talked with the Detroit News beat writer for the University of Michigan about how the transition's going with Kyle Whittingham, Jay Hill, the rest of the staff, the players there. I'm a little surprised she said 7-5 and 8-4. I thought 9-3 would be it would be the minimum that anyone in Michigan would ever be happy with at any time. Now maybe she's just being more reasonable than the vast majority of people in Michigan.
Well, I can't speak for the vast majority of people in Michigan, but I can speak for her after listening to what she said, and that's what she was talking about. She's trying to come up with reasonable expectations, and that's what she settled on. Yeah. Okay.
We have a question up on our Facebook. Does Kyle Whittingham deserve to be questioned on if he hates Ohio State enough?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think he does, and I've got no problem with his response because they're going to be leery. When you have a complete and total outsider, that's going to raise suspicions. We would do it here. If Utah hired
Urban Meyer,
somebody.
I mean, we did it here.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd go Urban.
Really?
Because we knew that Urban was a salesman. And from the second he got here, the countdown was on as when he would leave.
It was one of the better press conferences for the local media. I wasn't involved. I was listening to it on the radio. Other people were assigned to go to it, but I thought,
well, that's a mistake
really
right
good.
There. You should have been assigned.
Well, maybe, but I thought
14-time City Weekly Sportscaster of the Year.
I thought even though it was the at the podium and you don't get the follow-up questions from one reporter, it's bouncing around. I thought it was on point. And he got asked about liking it here, and he got asked about staying here, and we all know how it played out, and the answers, and
just
people
look at Utah State. I think Utah State is the best example.
Certainly seen it there.
They keep bringing these people in from out of state, and do you know anything about this place?
Yeah.
Because this place ain't the run of the mill. And then I hear one coach's wife hates it here. Why the crap did you take the job? It didn't make any sense. And she's whining from day one. And then another coach, the social life isn't good enough. Why'd you take it? And then you're out the door, and the athletic director revolving door, and you get somebody who's of your own, and you chase them out. And there's that suspicion, I think is the good word. When you come in from out of town, there's a suspicion. Like for myself, I don't think that I could have come and moved right into radio until I had had over a decade of my name being out there in print and doing as many TV appearances, as many guest hosting experiences, as many segment appearances. I mean, I never said no because this is the job that I wanted, and it was all a scheme to get it, which is the reasons why I buddied up to Gordon and Locke.
It's a plan more than a scheme.
I don't really particularly like either guy.
Sure.
But they helped me by me buddying up to him. I mean, that was my plan. It was literally my plan. And I think I would have been viewed far more skeptically if I had just come in. Because we've had radio guys who were very good, and they come in and they don't, and then they leave.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of them, we talked to them at the time. That person's really good, and if they stayed here 5 years or 8 years or whatever, they could really get it, and they could really excel, and we both agreed there's no way they're going to do that. And they have gone on, and they've had good careers, and they've worked good places and made good money, covered good games, but not here. They've gone elsewhere.
When you bring in an outsider, and I've said this a million times, if the coach has young kids, those kids will have the school logo painted on their face. And they know nothing about that. All they know is they got to move and they got to say goodbye to their friends. And now they're supposed to be diehard, fill in the blank, whatever. It's ridiculous. No, it's not. And then they leave, and that's it. So there's all sorts of suspicion, and I get why the fan base would say, wait a second, does he know? If he doesn't hate these guys the way I hate them, that's wrong. He needs to hate them. I hate Ohio State more than Kyle does, and I've hated him for decades. And I'll go to my grave hating him. It's the only hate I have in my heart, outside of when you do things that drive me nuts.
Does Kyle deserve to be questioned? Yes. The media should ask that question because it's a question the fans desperately want answered. Now, is whatever answer Kyle gives appropriate? Should it be tolerated? Should it be loved? Should it be embraced? You can generate all that, or you can argue about all that, but you can't not ask the question. That's what everybody's talking about. Are you all in? Do you want what we want? And the truth is, what I think they want is they really want to win big, and
so
Kyle
does he.
really wants to win big. So I think
That's
it's
the common denominator.
Yeah, and so I think given that, I think it can work out. Interesting that he says year 2. There is a history in college football that it takes 2 years, but it's new rules, so maybe expect it more quickly. But then it's to what level?
Yeah,
also.
I want to see what is down. Now, if he's in the college playoff and having success in year 2, then year 1 won't matter.
Yeah, back to Urban, right? Winning it all.
Yeah,
year 2.
But you look at their schedule, and I can only count 4 guaranteed wins.
Western Michigan in the opener, UTEP in the third game, Rutgers on Halloween, and you going UCLA?
Oh, I thought you were going to go Wang.
UCLA in game 11. Are those the 4 you've got? And Wang.
When you stretched out I thought you were going Wang. I really thought
Dang, whap, Wang,
and
Wang.
we were going to get a Wang reference, which, anytime I get a Wang reference, I'm okay with.
So is that your 4th, UCLA?
You first team all Wanger?
Don't lump me in with Riley.
Well, I have to. You use the word Wang.
He's a first team all whacker.
We came back from break when you were on vacation, and we were talking about Utah State, and I said, do you think they have any first team all Packers on that team? Well, I don't know about UC Los Angeles. Because,
who's your 4th?
Well, I figured it's either Michigan or them. Michigan State, I mean. Excuse me. So if you want to include both, that's 5, which still isn't very good. That's not to say that they will lose all the other games, because I don't think they will. But this is a killer schedule. I mean, it's...
To be rotating through Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State at the same time you put Oklahoma on the schedule.
Well, and Iowa's going to be ranked.
Iowa's going to be a hard game, and she was right on the spot. Like, Iowa's defense makes every game a hard game. They're only going to give up 10 or 13 points. Now, you may well win 13-3.
Yeah,
but you never really pull away.
Right. We've been watching Iowa forever, and I'm a huge Iowa fan. In terms of when they play these big teams, I think Iowa is one of the more underrated schools out there. I mean, they may not win, but they're going to play you tough.
Yeah,
and so you never know there. So yeah, that is really, really tough. What they have to go through. There's just zero. I mean, literally zero question about it. Right? I think so.
I also think some of these other games that look hard are also winnable. I don't think he's going to drop them all.
That's what I
think
said.
that stretch they've got with I think it actually starts with Iowa. Iowa at Minnesota, home to Penn State. All swing games. Penn State new coach. How quickly do they pull it together? Those 3 games, they could win any of them. They could lose any of them. Will they come out of it 2-1 or 3-0? I expect. But there's no gimmies there, and they might go 1-2 through that stretch. I wouldn't think so, but it could happen. And I think what she said about Bryce Underwood, a quarterback, how much is he going to pick up the offense, especially the passing portion of the offense? That Dampier, he doesn't have the strongest arm, but that guy, and I think they really appreciated about him, and most of them had the advantage. It was his second year in the offense. He was it for Dampier because he and the coordinator, Beck, were at New Mexico together for year 1. So Kyle didn't see, he was told about it, I'm sure, but he didn't day-to-day live through Dampier figuring that out. Year 2, Dampier comes in, and it's just a different deal. He's got way more experience, and all they said, both on camera and off, like his decision-making just excellent. Like he made reads, he made the right reads, he made them very quickly, just A's and A pluses for grading all that stuff out. And it makes the offense hum. And it puts the defense in a really bad spot. Now, if you're hesitating, you're a second late with the read, you're a second late with the throw, you're still processing all of this, you could be good and not be Dampier. He's got a real knack for it. Plus, he's in his second year and you're in your first year, so there's that also. Now, how's he going to handle that?
Well,
and can they simplify it and make it easier for him and not do everything they did with Dampier?
Kenny Dillingham describes it literally using these words: bleep hits the fan. I mean, he'll say that in interviews.
Yeah.
Because they've got a quarterback competition, right? So they've been asking him, well, you blah, 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 but you really don't know until bleep hits the fan. And especially with these quarterbacks, because they're so dominant in high school and all this other stuff, and they get this 5-star ranking because they're so superior in high school.
Right.
Yeah, and like Anthony Richardson, he must have been like Taysom Hill in high school and playing wherever he played from, but I never felt like he was a good enough quarterback. I don't need my quarterback to overwhelm you athletically. He's got to, and this is the way the game is played today, particularly at the college level, you've got to be nimble for sure, but I don't necessarily think you need to be overwhelming athletically. I don't think Cam Rising was overwhelming athletically. I don't think Bear Bachmeier is overwhelming athletically, but they can be effective. I don't think Tyler Huntley was overwhelming athletically, but they can be extremely effective with the knowledge and the experience. And I came back from that Florida game saying, yeah, he's an unbelievable athlete, but I wouldn't take him at quarterback. And now he's proven he's not a starting quarterback. I wonder if that's what we're going to see with Underwood. I don't have enough knowledge in terms of following Underwood. I will, because I intend to watch Michigan as much as possible this year, because I think our listeners want to know what we think and all that stuff. So I have doubts about that. Now, I did watch the freaking stupid spring game, but it's spring, so I don't want to go too crazy.
Was he wearing a different colored jersey? Could he get hit? Because that's part of
bringing... Well, the other kid, the Notre Dame quarterback's brother, looked really good. But that's like saying, oh my gosh, Carson Beck, man, in that Hall of Fame game, look out. The next Kurt Warner. You can't go crazy there. But I wonder how good he's going to be, and is there going to be an issue there? And the fact that Kyle's an outsider. No, this ain't Utah anymore. How many times are we going to hear that? And every time we hear that, it's going to upset me. Tim Brando said, well, he's going to have a different caliber. We had pros at Utah. We have NFL guys. We've got stars in the NFL who played at Utah.
I bet we can go back and find Tim Brando saying that about Urban Meyer, and then Urban Meyer wins it all, and he's a great coach, and everybody forgets that you said a year ago, well, it's not Utah anymore.
But I wonder if there's a struggle or when this isn't Utah, which is going to make me go nuts.
There will be a struggle, and it will be said.
Which is stupid.
Because to me, the top shelf, we were talking the bottom with Angelique, what's reasonable, and she's like 8, maybe 7, 8. Like, to me, if they knock it out of the park, 10-2. I can't visualize 11-1 or 12.
Take that right now.
Yeah, I can't. I don't see there's any way they're getting to 11-1 or 12-0 with this schedule. No,
12-0.
No.
They freaking build a statue over Big Bo.
They're not doing 11-1 or 12-0. 10-2 is absolute.
The Whittingham Athletic Center.
Absolute top shelf is 10-2.
Whittingham Field at the Big House.
Which that would be the whack, ironically enough.
I do think Oklahoma. See, it'll just come full circle.
He's a first-team all-whacker.
I do think that Oklahoma game is massive because they may well come in with, they had an excellent half a team last year. Now, mature, healthy, and maybe the offense takes a step forward and they're a more complete team. But Oklahoma comes in at home with an iffy offense, and Kyle has a good defense. And Oklahoma's D was really good last year. I don't know how much they'll fall off there. But if they could get that one, good start, buy some time, some good feelings, some good vibes, because Michigan fans are going to walk into that game very curious. Butterflies in the stomach, the first big test.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So can you get one? That one is winnable. It's difficult, but I think it could be winnable. Now maybe Mateer is, next to the line of Heisman Trophy winners, and he had some health issues last year. He's had another year.
Charles Atlas, have you seen his body?
I have not.
Oh, they've been running around showing pictures of the dude. Yeah.
Gives me something to do during the break. Thank you, PK.
Yeah. I mean, he looks, wow, he's really beefed up.